Okay, so with this truck, you get a spare tire, a spare tread, a studded winter pair of very barely used tires, in case you live in snow country. It comes with a vnt15 core. Now, what happened to this turbo is the intake impeller munched against the housing of the intake. The housing was loose. Anyways, a good fire extinguisher because I have been in a car fire. This is a scroll compressor. It has its intake and exhaust port fittings there. This scroll compressor is a near ideal expander to make use of the exhaust waste heat that this truck is set up to tap. This truck has a 2-inch exhaust system out the turbo with mandrel bends artfully grafted to a evacuation cone on the exhaust. So there's very low back pressure on that vnt15 as well. Now, that exhaust system is wrapped with a chamber, a preheat and a superheat chamber, fore and aft, as seen in the underneath pictures, that can be used with this steam engine to make use of the waste exhaust heat and expand it through organic Rankine cycle steam generator. And that scroll compressor will decompress the steam or the organic fluid like R134A really nicely to extract the heat from the exhaust. Now, what you can do with that power is you can decouple all the parasitic loads off the diesel engine, such as the vacuum pump, which this comes with a vacuum pump right here, an electric vacuum pump. So basically make all your loads electric, and you couple this to your alternator, and then the engine doesn't have to waste horsepower spinning the alternator to make electricity that you have in abounds. You can also physically couple the power with a brushless motor back to the crankshaft and make the thing a hybrid. Anyways, I'll go on. There is a reverse impeller, a spare oil housing, miscellaneous Volkswagen bolts, hoses, oil cooler, hood light, split hose, turbo connector. Oh, there's that vacuum pump again. Turbo gasket kit. Dash cluster out of that same Mark II that the intake manifold came off. Of course, rag, a jack, a pair lug wrench, a tow strap. Here is a white face, black on white matching gauge that can be put into the cluster there. It is a aneroid type temperature sensor that we got for the water. Thermostat, glow plugs, oil pressure sensors, coolant temperature sensors, a pneumatic valve to go with the binaural wastegate on the vnt15 turbo. This is a two-stage thermostat for the radiator, where you could have shutters that block off the grill until a certain engine temperature is reached, and then the shutters would open, and then only when the engine started breaking a sweat, which it doesn't really do very often, would the cooling fan kick on. Yeah, that looks like another oil temperature sensor, PCV valve, which is handy in plumbing some of the unique surfaces that this vehicle has. A dome light, a couple of fluid reservoirs and pumps that can be used to supply the Aquamist liquid intercooler or other various parts that belong to the truck. Stock original oil filter, diesel fuel filter if you need, turbo hosing. There's a spare fuel filter and oil that comes with it. Also, there's a bit of an unused rebuild kit here with a timing belt. Oh, these boots would be nice to get those put on the front rack and pinion. A couple of spare bolts, spare bushing kit for the transmission shift lever, bulbs, things for the doors, yeah, gaskets, seals, and stuff. Nice little toolkit that matches the truck, has most of the basic wrenches that are sometimes needed. A couple more turbo couplings, exhaust coupling, smooths, and that kind of stuff. So that's the parts bag that you're going to get in this deal to continue this interesting little project here.